Good afternoon. This is Todd Carter at the National Weather Service in Spokane with a weekly weather briefing for September 4th, 2018. We're going to talk about a little bit about the smoke that's hanging around in the inland northwest, the warming coming up, followed by the upcoming cold front and the weather trends after that. So let's take a look at smoke in the past. August 20th, we had quite a bit of smoke in the area. Satellite picture from above shows pretty much the entire Pacific Northwest covered in dense smoke. Versus today, where we have on September 4th, we do have indications on satellite that there is smoke in the area, but not to the extent that we've had in the past. That satellite picture I showed from today didn't look like much like the sensors. The air quality sensors are picking up on some low-level smoke, and we have a couple source regions that we're keeping an eye on, and sensors are responding to Canadian fire smoke just north of the border, west of Castlegar. It's kind of been coming down in northerly surface winds overnight, and has been impacting some of the sensors and working its way into the lower valleys as it comes southward. So we're talking a smoke transport of up to 100 miles or so, and that's a pretty good distance. But we've had a fair extent of northerly flow lately. So this evening, what we're looking at in this current image, looking at 2.5 micron smoke concentrations. And this is the National Weather Service HRRR smoke model. This is what it thinks should be going on right now, and has there are two primary smoke sources, again up in Canada, and then the Crescent Fire, and to a lesser extent the Cougar Creek Fire south of Lake Chelan, northwest of Wenatchee. And those are the source regions right now that seem to be putting out the most smoke, and what we're keeping an eye on. So this is the Tuesday evening model forecast, and you can see the lighter blue to the south of the Canadian fires is near surface smoke, but at much lesser concentrations. What we're looking at tonight and into Wednesday morning are some north winds again. Not terribly strong, 10, 11, 12 miles an hour down the Okanagan Valley, reaching into the Central Basin and moving through Sandpoint to Coeur d'Alene down the Purcell Trench. So those northerly winds, we'll get another surge of those tonight. And what is anticipated to result from that is additional smoke moving into the region. Again, looking at the smoke model and its forecast concentrations, I wouldn't so much concentrate more on the coloration other than its interpretation on where maybe the higher concentrations potentially could be. So as generally you can see outside of the Idaho Panhandle, not super high concentrations of smoke are anticipated, but in that northerly flow it is anticipated from those Canadian fires that higher concentrations of smoke will again reach down towards the Highway 2 corridor, stretching over into the Okanagan Highlands towards Omak. And then the Crescent Fire smoke kind of staying more localized up in the northern Cascades, and not terribly contributing in the southerly flow, but some of that could leak down in Twist River Valley and across Stehekin down Lake Chelan. And then, of course, you've got the Cougar Creek Fire that is still producing smoke, but not nearly as much as these 2 point sources. And that's going to be important going forward for those for those concerns of smoke in this area, because what we're going to do is we're going to look at the trends going forward, and we'll mention what's going to occur. So the smoke trends Wednesday night into Friday, we saw that smoke impingement south to Highway 2 into Wednesday, and Wednesday night I think that smoke is going to hang around generally in the north central and northeastern mountains and valleys of eastern Washington. And some of it will still leak down into the Spokane area, uh, some of the basin. But what we're seeing Wednesday night into Thursday is a weakening of those northerly surface winds, so we might cut off some of that smoke from Canada. And then going into Thursday and Friday, the smoke is tending to push more towards the Canadian border as we're getting more into southerly flow. So during the days, as the smoke lifts and gets more into the southwesterly flow, it'll start pushing it further and further north towards the Canadian border and into Canada. And then we're looking at a cold front coming in late Friday into Saturday, and that'll be more fresh air coming in from the southwest and west. And that will also have a tendency to improve air quality, um, even if the brief fresh air does maybe kick up the fires a little bit. It'll help transport that smoke away from the region. So that's the smoke part of the forecast right now, improving trends for the weekend on smoke. For Thursday, we're getting into the hottest day of the week. This is a prefrontal day. It's going to be the most potentially unstable day of the week. Local fires could get more active, including the Crescent and the Cougar Creek, as well as Canadian fires. But the Canadian fires, I think, will stop contributing to our smoke because that flow is switched from the southwest and west. So that'll push things away from us. So the smoke trends are to move the smoke north. Here's a look at the generally the cold frontal day winds. Later in the afternoon, Friday and Friday evening, we're looking at wind gusts, near 25 miles an hour in the basin. And I got some 15, maybe near 20 mile an hour in neighboring valleys in the basin. Not terribly strong, but still we're looking at another warm day, not quite as warm as Thursday. So we're looking at hot, dry, and breezy conditions for this time of year. And so you also want to look out for enhanced fire danger during that day. For the weekend weather, we've had the cold front go through. We're going to have some mountain showers in the Cascades and northern mountains near the Canadian border, and we're also going to have some lingering breeziness through the Cascade Gaps and in the Central Basin as well. And we're also going to be cooling off near normal or seasonal temperatures for this time of year. So just your typical early or late summer, early fall type weather. And again, looking at the temperature trends on a graph here, say Spokane in the upper left, peak temperatures 86 degrees on Thursday, and then by Saturday they're down to 71, so a drop of 15 degrees, pretty significant. And that's actually a little bit below normal for this time of year, 75, but still not terribly cold. And then the same trend in all of these other graphics where you have highs in the mid 80s, mid to upper 80s, dropping down into the mid 70s, even in the upper 60s in some areas more towards the Canadian border where the cooler air is. For the 8 to 14 day outlook, so we've had the cool air come in over the weekend, and it looks like it's going to persist a little bit, at least near seasonal normals through the near future as we get more weather waves coming in from the west. For the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, a better chance of near below normal temperatures, and just a slight nod towards a better chance of above normal precipitation for the 8 to 14 day outlook. For the weather summary, again, Tuesday through Wednesday morning, we've got these northerly valley breezes. So we're looking at smoke still moving into the region, at least for the next 24, 36 hours. And then and then overall during the Wednesday through Friday time period, we have warmer temperatures coming in, increasing fire concerns. Smoke generally trying to progress north of Washington Highway 2, at least the higher concentrations, progressively getting further north through that period. And then we have the cold front, breezy conditions, still fire concerns, into Saturday, some mountain showers, less smoke and cool. And then Sunday through Tuesday, we have some occasional breezes through the Cascade Gaps and Central Basin, and seasonal temperatures for the most part. So here's how you can contact us as usual, and feel free to get a hold of us anytime by any of these means, or give us a call at the office. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Nope, thank you.
All right. Well, you have yourself a good week.